lots of questions about how safe is it to play my flute with all the COVID stuff that is going on. So I thought I would take a minute to make this quick little video for you guys. We play wind instruments. We blow out. COVID is passed from one person to another by blowing out and water droplets in your vapor getting into someone else's system and making them really, really sick. So we want to try and avoid that as much as possible, which is a bit challenging when you play a wind instrument. Now, I reckon just as a general rule, don't share your flute. Like, even if someone else has an alto flute and you really, really want to turn on it, just for now, just don't share your flute. Just to be better to be safe than sorry. If you do absolutely have to share your flute, we used to use these when I was at uni. They're just plain old alcohol swipes. You can get a big box for like $10 and it'll last you forever unless you're a teacher. And they're actually medical alcohol swipes, but they work really well for flute. So you just they come in just like little sachet, so you just tear one off, rip it open. It's only really tiny, that's all you need. These taste absolutely revolting, so don't like clean a reed with one of these and then stick it in your mouth because you will regret that. And you can just use it to wipe over the flute, and that's supposed to help to clean it and kill all the germs that are on it. So that is the alcohol swipes. That is thing number 2. Now, flute is probably the most dangerous instrument to be playing at the moment because unlike other wind instruments, they put the whole thing either on their mouth or in their mouth and all the air goes into the instrument and it comes out at one point. Or if you're like clarinet or saxophone, it sort of comes out at the keys, but primarily at one point. Flute is very, very different because for us to get a sound out of our flute, half of the air goes through the instrument and the other half sort of comes out into the world, and it's almost like a splitting of our air column. Half goes in, half goes out, and that's what gets our sound. So to try and demonstrate this, I have got a lovely tissue. I hope this works. An assistant would have been great, but that's okay. So if I am playing my blowout from my flute, I'm just going to hold this in front of my face, so I'll talk then I'll do it. You will see exactly how much air is coming out. So it's quite a bit. I'm not sure if you can tell. I'm going to like try and do it on an angle. This is really awkward. And like even if I hold it quite a ways away, you can see it's still wobbling a good like 20-30 centimeters. So you can kind of see there is a lot of air that is flying into whoever happens to be sitting directly in front of me in band. One way I've discovered to get around that is obviously you can't wear a mask, because if you wear a mask, you can't play flute. It doesn't really work. So I have ordered myself one of these. They're a little bit expensive, I think, for what they are, but at the same time, it is a specialized product. So this was, I think it was 80 Australian dollars. It's of course cheaper if you're in America. Comes in a cool little box. Comes in a cool little carry case so you can, tuck it in your school bag and take it where you need to go. And this is the Wind-de-Fender. It was designed because, well, we don't really have marching bands in our school system here in Australia, but they do in America, and they have this problem of when you're outside and it's really windy, the wind actually knocks your airstream and prevents it from going where it needs to go in the flute, and you actually can't get a sound out. So they invented this little plastic device. It's got like a clamp on the bottom, so you can like clamp it onto your flute. And the idea was it would block the outside wind from getting out, but it also blocks your inside wind from getting out. So the way it works is you just like slide it on your head joint, And it, unfortunately, it does affect your sound. Like, you will hear, it's a very slight difference. You will hear a difference. But if it means that, you know, you're going to stay safe, you're going to keep your teacher safe, you're going to keep your band members safe, then it is totally worth it. So I've just clipped it onto my flute, really, really easy, and you still play like a normal person. Just like, I haven't quite lined it up. There we go. So I don't know if you can hear it. To me, it's really obvious because it's so like close to my face. And if I try that now without tissue, so exactly the same thing I did before. There's like no air is escaping. So I reckon that's pretty good for what it is. It'll, really help get you back in the rehearsal room. I don't know if you could hear a difference in the sound. It's so obvious to me, but like... And then compare and contrast without the flute. It is harder to get off than on, I have found, but that's okay, you'll get used to it. Yeah, so you can hear the air hitting against it. It's pretty good. I recommend it. The other thing you'll notice as a flute player is it does trap a lot of the air in your face. And so if you're playing, especially if you're playing a longer piece or you're rehearsing for a while, the air starts to get really stuffy and you'll be breathing in stale air that you've already breathed in. So every now and then you'll just be like, flute goes down and now we've got fresh air again, and then you keep playing. But yeah, so it's a good little workaround. Let me know if you have any other questions or if there's anything else you'd like me to try and cover, and I'll do my best to get it done. Good luck. I hope you're all doing all right, and let the flute playing continue. See ya.